Media Group.
Hey, welcome to A Sandwich and Some Lovin'. I'm Kellie Raspberry Evans with my husband, Alan Evans.
A train in the house.
Hopefully y'all are doing okay. This is a weird week. We have a lot going on, not to mention time change. I mean, that is the biggest conversation starter every time you walk into a room right now, isn't it, Alan? The time change.
Well, I don't know that that's the biggest conversation starter, but I tell you what, you know who doesn't want to hear people like us bemoaning about time change?
Who?
Nurses, doctors.
No, time change throws everything off.
People who are on the graveyard shifts at work.
But it throws everything
They're like,
off.
we don't want to hear about your bemoaning about your circadian rhythm or whatever. It's 1 hour. I got to do this my entire life.
No, it throws everything off. Changing the clock throws everything off. It's true.
Do you think you could work a graveyard shift?
If I had to.
Like a graveyard shift, like you go in at 10 p.m.
Yeah, if
and
I
work
had to.
all night, then you come home and you're like a vampire. You sleep during the day.
If I had to.
I'd be out on that.
If you had to, you would.
Well, I would, but I'd be grumpier than I am now.
Well, I get up at a stupid hour every day and I do it, and you just learn to live tired. But man, I was just looking at, every time the clock changes, it takes me about 2 weeks to get back in some sort of, I don't know, sleep pattern or something. I think it affects your mood. They were saying 69% of Americans say
statistics.
Yep, 69%. It messes with mood, energy levels, ability to focus. The older you are, the more likely you are to agree. 83% of boomers feel it, compared to 54% of Gen Zers.
What about Gen Xers?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
That's us.
That.
I don't have that, but I guess we're somewhere in the middle.
Well, okay.
57% of parents say it has a significant impact on the children's sleep patterns. So I'm just off. But then again, you compound that with an election year, election week, and all. It's just a lot at once.
Dill and I were driving to the driving range last night because we practice every day, it seems like now, which is great. But yeah, he wants to practice. But we're driving over there, and it's like rush hour traffic, but 5:45 in the afternoon, and it's dark.
Pitch.
It's really weird.
Yeah,
he was like, Daddy,
black.
what time is it? And I said, well, it's not even 6 o'clock. And he's like, why is it like that? It's the time change, it's just weird. It takes you a while to get used to it.
It is weird. And I don't, the shorter days make me depressed. I'm very impacted by light and weather and cloud coverage. It just, I don't know. But we'll snap out of it, right? Got a lot of other things going on besides time change.
Speaking of your little statistic there about 83% of boomers are feeling it, 54% of Gen Zers are feeling the time change. I was listening to radio this morning. Unfortunately, not the Kid Craddock Morning Show, because you guys were done. I had listened earlier, listening to another channel, and these fellers were talking about how millennials, they were talking about the election, which we're going to get into just a little bit. They were talking about how millennials, 1 out of 3 millennials, was it millennials? Yeah, it was millennials, could not care less about the election and just wanted it to be over.
Well,
and I was surprised by that.
What age group is that?
Well, it's younger than us and younger than Gen Y. I think it's younger than that.
But older than my daughter?
Yes.
My daughter was very interested and excited her first year voting. There is a certain segment when you get to a part of life, you feel like it doesn't matter. Let's get past it and get back. I don't know. There's probably a phase of all of our lives where we felt that way for a little bit.
I think that's true. And as an older person now, when I heard that stat, I was like, well, why aren't you interested? You should be interested.
But I think that's just a natural.
I think that's just a natural thing for most younger people.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was of voting age in my 20s, I wasn't as tuned in as I am now. Yeah. I don't know if that's because of the social media, or when you get older, you pay more taxes, or when you get older, you have children in school.
I don't know.
And you want them to have, opportunities to buy a house, buy a car, get a job, all that good stuff. So you think about it more. I don't know,
Alan.
What do you think?
I don't know.
What do you think about what happened 2 days ago? Why don't you tell us about that?
What happened 2 days ago?
Well, we had an election.
We did, and it's now over. I'm so happy that, what?
There's somebody at the door.
Oh, hello?
Should we let him in?
I guess I don't know what what's happening right now.
Tell him to come in.
Come in.
Oh, look, it's President Clinton.
Oh, Clinton.
Hello, Kellie.
Well, what are you doing here, Mr. Former President Clinton?
This is unbelievable. We have President Clinton here.
It is very
He hasn't been on the podcast in a long time.
And I don't really know why he's on now.
Well, I don't know. I just thought I'd come in here and check with you, Kellie. You're looking really nice today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I appreciate that compliment.
Well, I just thought I'd come in here and get a little insight on what you thought about the election. You know, my party didn't do very well. We didn't do very well.
No, you didn't.
We didn't do very well.
Didn't.
What do you think there are reasons why we didn't do very well?
I can't think of any right now.
You can't think of any reasons?
No.
Okay,
no.
well.
I just think it was just, luck of the draw.
Well, I could ask that knucklehead husband of yours, but he left the room.
Yeah.
Well, okay. You have any idea why I sound a little bit like El Presidente?
Because
I mean, he's from Texas and I'm from Arkansas.
Because
you didn't think we were going to be doing this bit?
No, and I don't know how to.
I've never seen you at a loss of words about this.
I don't know how to answer that.
You sure seem to have a lot.
I could say it's because it's the same person impersonating both voices, but I think that would be breaking the fourth wall. But I don't know how else to answer that.
Well, we got a new president. It sounds like this is going to be interesting. He's an unpredictable guy, this guy, Donald Trump.
That's what they say.
He's very unpredictable.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
I'm not sure how I feel about this, but I guess it'll be okay.
Well, I guess you'll have to hear an earful from Hillary.
Maybe you can. Don't tell her I'm here.
Who?
Hillary.
Who are you?
I'm Bill.
Oh, I forgot, because you don't sound anything like him right now.
Okay, well, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to call the National Weather Service.
Maybe you need to listen to Bill Clinton more before you perform as
We're
Bill
going to call the National Weather Service. I'm going to issue a failed bit warning.
Okay.
And we've issued a failed bit warning for Collin County, specifically Plano, Texas.
What are you doing? What is that?
I don't know. I haven't done the character in a while.
Oh.
Well, I don't.
Maybe that was the last time we hear from Mr. Clinton. I don't know.
All right. Well, I'm going to leave now.
That's probably a good idea.
Okay. Well, I thought we were going to talk about some politics, but I guess not.
No, I really would rather not.
Okay. Well, I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Bye.
Well, I'm Mr. President.
I'm Mr. President.
Thank you. Thank you.
The respect that you've earned and deserved. All right. There's that.
That was amazing. We haven't had Bill in here in a long time. That was awkward. It was very awkward.
Shocking.
It was very shocking and very awkward. We could have had some more presidents come in.
No, we couldn't have. We shouldn't have.
Why?
I don't know. You are going to love Legacy Box. Becoming a parent changes how you look at memories. While we're savoring and saving every moment with our kids, suddenly you start to realize a lot of important memories from our childhood. They're trapped on VHS tapes, camcorder tapes, photo albums, crammed into boxes labeled "Do Not Throw Away" and shoved into an attic. Those are at risk of being destroyed by heat, moisture, disaster, time. And once they're gone, they're gone. That's why you need Legacy Box now. They are the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos. And the process is so simple. They send you a Legacy Box and you fill it up with old VHS tapes, pictures, film reels, slides, DVDs, whatever you've got. Their team in Tennessee carefully digitizes it all by hand. They send you back the originals plus digital files on the cloud or a thumb drive. Ordering a Legacy Box is one of the best things I've done for my family, because now instead of just telling my kids about that crazy vacation I took to the mountains when I was a kid, I get to show them and relive it with them. And right now, during Legacy Box's Father's Day sale, you can save big while preserving your family's history. Visit legacybox.com/sandwich to get started today. That's legacybox.com/sandwich. It's the little things that make a big difference in how I feel. Now, for me right now, it's about stretching. I didn't realize how stiff I was until I started doing it. I love when I can stretch a little further than before. It makes me feel refreshed when I'm done. And a little makeup refresh can make all the difference too with Thrive Cosmetics, my go-to clean makeup routine year-round. Now, of course, their brilliant eye brightener and Stella champagne is always in my makeup bag. Actually, I need to reorder more. I'm almost out. But it comes in 32 shades, and the Shenna Mint Green Shimmer looks really fun for summer. Their Empower Matte Precision Lipstick Crayon, it's really amazing. It gives you a beautiful color that lasts without feeling dry. They have 18 buildable shades, and I love the Dusty Rose
rose Kaiza color. I think that's how you pronounce it. But the best part, for every product you buy, Thrive donates products and funds to help communities thrive. So far, they've given over $150 million in products and cash to over 600 giving partners. This is beauty with purpose. Amplify your summer look with Thrive Cosmetics. Go to thrivecosmetics.com/sandwich for an exclusive 20% off your first order. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/sandwich.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to play a game.
Okay.
So the election was 2 days ago, as most of us, I think, know. And this is still relevant, I think. This is a quiz on Buzzfeed, and we're going to test your knowledge.
It has a lot of quizzes.
Yes, we're going to take one right here. I haven't taken this yet. Me and you are going to take it together.
Where are the answers?
The answers are going to be right here.
Are you going to see the answers before you answer?
No, I haven't seen the answers.
Okay, so I haven't either. I don't even know what we're doing.
You and I can take this together, and we're going to see how we do. But the quiz is, the author says, I'm not calling you a dumb American, but I'm willing to bet you can't pass a basic election quiz.
That's probably right.
And I think government and political science is interesting. So I went in here and I was kind of looking at the questions. I'm like, wow, okay, well, I don't know if I can either. But let's take it together.
Why would you put us in a position to look stupid purposely?
It's authentic.
Just asking.
It's authentic.
But why would we do that?
Just because people can say, you know what, Kellie and Alan are pretty stupid too.
Okay.
Okay. So, question number 1, true or false? Election day is the same day, November 5th, every year, unless it falls on a Sunday.
That's false.
I think that's false.
It's always on a
It's
Tuesday.
always on a Tuesday. We're going to click false, and we got the answer correct.
Good.
So we're 1 for 1. It says false. It's always the first Tuesday following the first Wednesday of November. Okay, so it's if there's a Wednesday in November, the following Tuesday is election
That can't be right.
day. How come?
Because Halloween was on Thursday.
No.
Wait, what?
Say the first Wednesday in November is November 1st. The following Tuesday would be election day.
All right, but just looking at the calendar, am I wrong? How do I go backwards?
You just think the quiz is wrong, and
But how does that work?
I don't understand what your question is.
Okay, month. How do we get back to because Halloween was on the 31st. So the first was on.
You're not even pointing to October.
Well, the Halloween was on Thursday. So Friday was the first.
Mm-hmm.
The second, third, fourth, fifth. So Tuesday, there was no first Wednesday in November.
It's always the first Tuesday following the first Wednesday of November per federal law.
But there was no the first Wednesday of November wasn't until November 6th.
I guess it's the first Tuesday.
But you said it's after the first Wednesday. You see what I'm saying?
Election day is the same day, November 5th, every year unless it falls on a Sunday. False. It's always the first Tuesday following the first Wednesday of November per federal law.
Okay, well, that's wrong then, because the first Wednesday of November was November 6th. That means that the election should have been on the 12th. So their answer is flawed.
So are we going to go into a deep dive here because I have more information.
Okay, you can.
We can do a deep dive.
That's fine, but I'm just telling you that based on what BuzzFeed answered, that's wrong. But that's fine.
Okay. Well,
maybe it's just the first Tuesday in November.
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't seen this quiz.
Okay.
I'm just going by what it says here.
I understand what you're saying.
So I think you should send an email to Angelica Martinez.
I will do that.
Of the BuzzFeed staff.
I will absolutely do that.
And to tell her this quiz is a load of crap.
Well, it's not a load of crap. I just think she got that part wrong.
Okay. Number 2, what is a closed primary election? A, ballots are cast secretly and anonymously. B, you must be registered by a certain deadline. C, you must be registered with a political party. Or D, there is no write-in option. You must vote for the given candidates.
Well, I've never heard of a closed primary election, so this is strictly
I know what a primary
guess.
election is.
Yeah, I don't know what a closed one is, so I would say no write-in option.
I think it's D. D?
That's what I would
Let's
think.
go with D. We click D and we're wrong.
We're wrong.
You must be registered with a political party.
Okay.
Okay. We're 1 for 2. Okay. Well, whatever. What are, number 3, what are swing states? A, states that have large fluctuations in voter turnout each election. B, states whose ballots are counted last and decide the election. C, States that aren't solidly blue or red states, or D, states with the most total voters that swing the direction of the total overall vote?
Well, I think it's the states that aren't solidly blue or red. They could swing either way.
I think it's C.
Oh,
Correct.
we're correct. Good.
Swing states are neither solidly pro-Democrat or pro-Republican, but have similar support of both parties and could favor either in an election. These states are often targeted by presidential campaigns and tend to decide the election.
Okay.
We knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've just never heard of a closed, whatever the other one was.
You know what I've also heard is there's no such thing as a blue state. There are red states, but there are states that have big blue cities,
Oh.
i.e. Illinois, New York, California, right?
Well, how does that not make them a blue, that they outnumber then?
Well, there's just way more people in the urban areas than there are
Right.
in the general population, I
Yeah.
guess is why people would say that. Number 4, which of the following states is not a swing state in the 2024 election?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, this is easy. Georgia, A, Nevada, B, Wisconsin, C, or Florida, D. That's easy, man.
Is it?
Which one of the following is not a swing state?
Well, I would, gosh, I don't know.
That'd be
Was Florida.
Florida.
I was going to say Florida, yeah.
Yeah, Florida. Correct. Florida. There are 7 swing states in this election are Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin.
Okay.
Yeah, we knew that. You knew that.
I thought it was Florida, but
You knew that.
see
Oh,
them in a group, you're not sure.
here's a good one. Good. You have to remember this from school.
Oh, no.
Question 5. Which amendment granted women the right to vote? A, the 14th. B, the 19th. C, the 20th. D, the 25th.
I don't remember.
By the process of elimination,
I think it'd be later on.
It's not the 25th. Because isn't that the one, if you got a president who's brain dead, they can like...
My initial gut instinct was to say 14th, but I don't think that's right.
I think it's the 14th.
Okay. That was my
I
gut.
think it's the 14th. That's my gut too. Can we phone a friend?
No, we don't have a friend.
No!
We were wrong. It was
We
the
were
19th.
wrong. It's the 19th.
Oh, well.
Okay, wrong. The 19th. It was passed by Congress on June 4th, 1919, and ratified on August 18th, 1920. So that gave women the right to vote. How about? Okay.
We were 5 years off.
I mean, it's been a while.
5 amendments off.
Been a while since I've been in school. I know what the First Amendment is. You know what that one is?
Is that free speech?
Free speech.
Yeah.
The Second Amendment.
Guns, bear arms?
Yeah, bear arms. And then the 19th is vote, women's right to vote. Do you remember when Prince Harry had a big problem with the First Amendment? He was talking about
Was it
how
first or second?
It was the first. He couldn't believe how America had a First Amendment.
No, I don't remember that. I remember he was mad about something, but I don't remember it being about speech.
Yeah, and then someone shot back to Harry, if you think you have a problem with the first, wait till you find out what's in the second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay, question 6. Have we ever had a president who did not represent a political party?
Well,
Yes or no?
I would just guess, and of all the presidents, we'd have to say yes.
I'd have to say yes by the process of just how many, you got 47,
Why not?
47 presidents now. Yes. Just one. Big Jorge Washington. Big Jorge Washington.
Numero uno.
Numero uno on the $1 bill, on the
There you
quarter,
go.
on the quarter. Big Jorge Washington himself.
That was a lucky guess.
The great white father, the father of our country. There he is. That's what the natives called George Washington. I'm not calling him that. That's what they called him.
What was it?
The great white father.
I've never heard that.
You've never heard that?
No.
They said the great white father made us all these promises. They broke every one.
I don't recall that.
They also said, give us our guns. Give us your guns.
Recall that.
That didn't work out too well either. Question 7. How much of their own money are presidential candidates allowed to spend on their own campaigns? Huh.
I would say no limit.
Okay. 50 grand, $1 million, 100 million, or no limit
I would think no limit.
of their own money. I'm going to say $1 million just to be different.
Okay.
You're right. You're correct. There
Oh,
is
good.
no limit.
Yay.
There is no limit. So as long as they report it to the FEC, the FEC or the SEC?
Federal Election Commission, maybe?
Okay, yeah. They can spend as much of their own money as they'd like. Oh, okay. Just a couple more. Question 7. What is disenfranchisement? A, the opposite of endorsing a candidate. B, choosing not to vote in an election because you don't like the candidates. C, being deprived the right to vote. D, writing in a candidate instead of choosing those on the ballot.
I go with B.
Choosing not to vote in an election because you don't like the candidates?
That's what I'm going to go with.
I wish I could phone a friend.
No friends.
Disenfranchisement. I'll say being deprived the right to vote. No, that's voter suppression. I'll just go with what you say. Choosing not to vote because you don't like either candidate?
Yes.
Oh. No, it was being deprived the right to vote.
That just doesn't feel right.
No, I thought that was just called voter suppression. Okay, well, different terminology there. Question 8, true or false? If you forget to register to vote before Election Day, it's okay. In the U.S., you can register at the polls the day of.
I heard somebody saying that on social media.
Medja.
So I am assuming that person would not be spreading disinformation. So I'm going to say that is true.
True?
And they are saying it's false.
False. Same day voter registration is only allowed in some states.
Okay, so maybe it was just in some states. So
Okay.
it's not necessarily, it's true in some states
It's
and
true
false in others.
Right, right.
But I did hear somebody say that, so it must have been for that particular state.
No, makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, because a lot of the states have obviously different rules.
Yeah.
Based on.
Well, that's why a lot of decisions are left up to the state.
That's right. That's right. Question 8 or 9, I'm not sure. How were vice presidents originally chosen? Sorry. A, by running their own race separate from the presidential race. B, they were appointed by the party holding a Senate majority. C, by being the runner-up in an election. D, they were voted on only by members of Congress. I have no idea.
Well,
How were they originally chosen?
I don't know either, and I'm sure we were taught that is a brief little paragraph in our 5th grade history class or something. But I would say, how were vice presidents originally chosen? I don't think it would be the runner-up, which might make sense.
Can I throw out a wild
running
theory?
Their own race separate? No.
Can I throw out a wild theory?
Uh-huh.
So the vice president is the president of the Senate. Like they break ties. If the
Okay, so
Senate's
let's say appointed by
50-50,
the Senate.
I'm going to say maybe they were appointed by the party holding the Senate majority.
Let's do that.
Is that how they
Let's go
maybe
with that.
originally did it? I don't know. I'm just throwing that out.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay, click.
No.
Wrong.
Being the runner-up.
Being the runner-up in the election.
Well, that's originally.
Had no idea.
Yeah, that's
Look
interesting.
at this. I'm learning something right here. Okay. Huh. Question 9. How many total electoral college votes are there in an election?
Well, you had to get
A,
270
360.
to win.
B, 538. C, 675. Or D, 846.
Well, 270 would be the majority to win, right? So half of 270.
Yeah, but not every state is worth the same amount.
I don't know then, honey, total. I'll say 538.
Well, this past election was huge. I mean, it was over 300 for the winner. So 538?
I don't know.
Correct.
Oh,
We just
good,
wild
good,
guess.
good.
We got it right. 538 available
Are we
total
at the end of
electoral
looking
votes.
stupid yet? No, it keeps going.
We're not looking stupid. We're actually doing very well. Question 10. All of the following except one are reasons people can't vote in a presidential election. Can you identify the one? A, being homeless, not having a permanent address. B, being convicted of a felony. C, being a U.S. citizen who lives in a U.S. territory. D, being a permanent legal resident without citizenship.
I'd say the permanent legal resident without citizenship.
All of the
Don't you have to
following
be a citizen?
except one are reasons people can't vote in a presidential election. Which one is the reason people can't vote?
I'd say the one without being a citizen, being a permanent legal without citizenship. Right?
No, you have to be a citizen to vote.
Right. So that's why I'm saying that one.
You also have to be a U.S. citizen. This is the same answer.
Yeah.
You
But
can't be convicted of a felony. So there's one of these.
Well, you can.
You can be convicted of a felony and
I think
vote?
so.
I don't think being homeless has anything to do with it. I think you can vote even though you don't have an address. Can you vote if you don't have an address? I don't know.
Well, in
It's
some places
either-
you
it's
can
either
vote without
A or
an
D.
ID. If you can vote in a place without an ID, then you don't have to prove
Wow.
a
Wow.
residence, right?
It's a hot sports opinion.
It's not a hot sports opinion. That's the truth. I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't know. Which one should I click?
I chose D, but I could be
Okay, let's
wrong.
choose D.
Oh, it's being homeless.
It's being homeless. You do not have to have a permanent address to vote. Interesting.
But you,
Interesting.
a permanent legal resident without citizenship can vote?
In some states, I guess.
All right.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
know.
That's a new one on me. I thought you had to be a U.S. citizen to vote.
I guess you don't.
Huh. Okay.
Then again, she got the first
Right.
Wednesday after Tuesday wrong. or
How
whatever.
confident are we in this BuzzFeed quiz
Well,
so
after
far?
that first answer, I was really uncomfortable.
Okay, question 11. Which of these facts are about... Oh, boy.
Alan, I don't want to do caucus stuff.
This word makes me...
It
whips
makes me anxious.
Which of these facts about caucuses is false?
Oh, my God.
People vote. A, people vote publicly for their candidate. B, people give speeches explaining their vote. D, C, D. Some states use them to select a potential presidential nominee. Or D, they are run by the state.
I'll say A, vote publicly.
Yeah.
No, they're run by the state.
They're
There
run
you
by
go.
the state.
See, okay, let's just stop there.
Hold on. Caucuses, which replace primaries in some states, are actually run by political parties. How about that? Okay, let's just do one more and we'll find a good one to end on. Okay, here's a good one.
We already answered this in another question.
Here's a good one. This is a funny word. The question is, this is the bonus question for all of you out there. What is gerrymandering? Not to be confused with Jerry Raspberry, not to be confused with Jerry Jones. What is gerrymandering? Gerrymandering. A, shaping a district to favor one party. B, voting in place of a deceased loved one. C, filling out a vote by mail ballot and an IR in real life ballot. IRL ballot, really? That's how we're going to describe voting in person is IRL? Okay. D, the act of being wrongfully prevented from voting. Gerrymandering. I think I know this one.
Shaping a district?
Yeah, it's shaping a district to favor your party. Correct.
All right.
You can't scroll your phone for more than 30 seconds without seeing somebody talking about GLP-1s. Maybe you've been close to trying them, but you're not a needle person, or maybe you're looking for a natural alternative. Well, let me introduce you to our podcast sponsor, Veracity. Their Metabolism Ignite. It's a natural plant-based GLP-1 alternative that is doctor recommended and clinically proven to help reduce hunger. Just 2 capsules with breakfast every morning. It's all you need. And one of the first things I noticed was I wasn't thinking about food all day, that food noise you always are constantly battling. Metabolism Ignite has no allergens, no caffeine, no negative side effects, and we love that. It's shown to reduce hunger by 85% and clinically proven to help lose an average of 9 pounds in 90 days. We really love that. Look, this stuff is sold out 10 times for a reason. So before it sells out again, make the switch to GLP-1s the natural way. Head to veracityhealth.co and use sandwich for up to 65% off your order. Once again, that's VERACITY health.co for up to 65% off. Make sure you use our promo code SANDWICH so they know we sent you. I don't think I've ever talked about it on this podcast before, but one day I was walking past the windows going upstairs and I noticed this greasy cooking smell. You know what I mean? It turns out it was our blinds. Something about the sun was breaking them down over the years. And who knows how long they were there before we bought our house. We needed new blinds bad, and that's what led me to 3-Day Blinds. I absolutely loved how easy they made the whole process. They send a professionally trained design consultant to your home. It's a free, no obligation, same-day quote. And they've got thousands of options to fit any budget and style. It's not just blinds. They've got shades, shutters, drapery too. 3-Day Blinds even has those motorized smart blinds that work with Alexa. Those are so cool. They take all the measurements. They handle the installation too. And it's perfect because I'm not handy. And what a difference it's made. This is an upgrade that makes your whole house feel refreshed and polished without having to do a big renovation. Right now, get quality window treatments that fit your budget with 3-Day Blinds. Head to 3dayblinds.com/sandwich for their buy one, get one 50% off deal on custom blinds, shades, and drapery. For a free, no charge, no obligation consultation, just head to dayblinds.com/sandwich. One last time, that's buy one, get one 50% off when you head to the 3dayblinds.com/sandwich.
Let's end on a positive
Yeah,
note.
we'll end on a positive. I thought that was interesting.
No, I'm stressed.
You don't want you're stressed.
I'm very stressed. I need a drink.
You need a drink.
Yeah. Cocktail. Something.
Speaking of, I made a carajillo the other night. You want my recipe for a carajillo?
Everybody's dying for it.
I made a carajillo, and I made an espresso martini, and I made some margaritas because we were sent some tequila to sample. Should we do this podcast another time more convenient for you?
Why?
Because you look like you were about to yawn at what I was about to say.
I stifled a yawn. What's wrong with that? I told you this time change has messed me up.
I know, it really has. Carajillo is basically a Mexican iced coffee, right? Yeah.
You're the one making the recipe.
Yeah. Okay, so 2 ounces of espresso.
That's what I need, espresso.
Yeah. 1 ounce coffee liqueur. And then if you like it a little sweeter, a little simple syrup, like a little teaspoon, put all that in an iced shaker. Shake. Strain into a coffee glass. Really good. And the coffee liqueur I use, you can use Kahlua or you can use Bailey's, I guess. We use the Cantera Negra Cafe, which is what we were sent.
It's coffee flavored tequila.
Coffee flavored tequila, but it smelled really good.
Mm-hmm.
It smelled amazing. So what'd you think?
Delicious.
Yep. Good.
Because I love an espresso martini.
No, it was a carajillo.
I love a coffee. What was I drinking?
It's like an iced coffee.
I love an iced coffee.
It's like a Mexican iced coffee.
Well, you made a martini too.
Martini and a what do you call them? Bloody Maria.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
If you don't like Bloody Marys, try a Bloody Maria because I don't like Bloody Marys. There's something about putting the tequila instead of vodka that makes me able to drink them.
Hey, there's one more question that just popped up on my screen about a caucus. Do you want to do another question about a caucus?
I don't even remember what a caucus is anymore.
I don't either. I that hurts my head.
I don't know what a caucus is. Why? Why do we even have them?
Well, there's the Iowa caucuses.
There is an Iowa caucus.
If you're from Iowa and you are listening to this podcast, email us at podcast@kellyandallen.com, Craig Shocker, and tell us if you've ever participated in the Iowa caucus.
I forgot what the definition of a caucus was.
I thought we just went over it.
I know, but I forgot. You can't even tell me. You're having to look it up.
They're run by the state.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we know that.
But it still doesn't say what it is.
Oh, these are all true, though. People vote publicly, people give speeches, and some states use them to select the nominee. That's what a caucus is.
Wait, so we were wrong.
Yeah, we were wrong.
No. I thought a caucus was voting. I answered that so I was right.
No, you're not right.
Which of these facts about caucuses is false? People vote publicly for their candidate. I thought that's what that was a caucus was.
These are all true.
Right, but
It says which ones are false.
Right.
This is false.
And I meant to say that I did think a caucus was voting publicly. So I misunderstood the question. I answered it wrong. I still would have gotten it wrong. I thought a caucus is where you stood up and said,
yeah,
I vote for somebody.
That's right.
So I was confused on a caucus is saying it out loud.
So you were, in your mind, you were correct.
No, I might not have gotten it right with the other multiple choice, but I was right about what I thought a caucus was.
Yeah, that's what
but
I mean.
I just answered it. I don't know why I answered it that way. But anyway.
I don't know.
What's the question? Who doesn't have a caucus? I know the Iowa has a caucus because I know you always say Iowa caucus.
Right. Well, the other ones are Iowa, Wyoming, Idaho, and Pennsylvania.
I'll say Pennsylvania, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Should I click on it just for fun? Hey, way to go, babe. Pennsylvania has a primary, not a caucus.
There you go, Pennsylvania primary.
Well, there you go.
Alliteration.
That is the political talk on a sandwich in Sullivan.
And that's all you're going to get.
I mean, not taking a lot of hard line opinions either way.
No, none.
Which, I thought when you're on a podcast, you're supposed to take hard line opinions, but I guess not.
Not if you're not on a podcast that does that.
Right.
The only thing about it is.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You're either preaching to the choir or you're rubbing it in.
Yeah.
And I don't like either of those.
Right.
So
Right.
I just like, there's no need.
Yeah.
Because people feel how they're going to feel. And nothing I say is going to make it any better or worse. Well, I could make it worse because that's the only, That's the only thing. So it's just like if your side won, great. Be gracious in victory. If your side lost, I'm really sorry because I know how that feels when your side doesn't win, and it's very upsetting. And the fear mongering that's been put out there on both sides, if you felt like if your side didn't win, it was going to be worst case scenario and everything's going to implode. And so when I'm watching people on social media having true meltdowns,
Medja.
and it's some people are laughing at them, but it's also heartbreaking to see people that are really in that level of distress because they're so overcome with fear and anger and hatred and over what's just happened that they are despairing. And it's heartbreaking because I don't like people feeling that way either. So I just think it's better not to say anything sometimes.
Remember what Yoda said to Luke?
What?
Those 3 things you just said.
What?
Fear, anger, hate. Those lead to the dark side.
Was that Bill Clinton?
That was Yoda.
Oh.
You're like my sister. You think all my impressions sound the same. You think they all sound like Jerry Jones.
Oh, or Bill Clinton, apparently. Anyway, I just be gracious. You got to be gracious in victory and gracious in defeat. And look, I am a poor loser. I am a bad loser. That's why I don't play a lot of board games because I don't like losing. You could see how I was doing in that quiz. It made me ill even to try to do that. But I don't know. It's just I'm trying to be gentle and kind this week.
Gentle and kind?
In addition to being extremely exhausted.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess the only thing I will say about this, and I agree with everything you said, babe, you can't talk about politics today without offending somebody or hurting someone's feelings or whatever. I understand all that. I will say that in a country of 350 million or whatever we have now, it's a huge, very diverse country. There are people that care about certain issues. There are people that care about other issues that somebody doesn't care about at all, because the country is so big and so diverse and the states are so different. But I will say that I think most Americans can agree, and you can agree that most Americans think, man, I just want like an opportunity to go to the grocery store. I want a good job. I want an opportunity to go to the grocery store. I want to be able to afford my stuff. Someday I want to buy a house. I want to buy a car. And when I get older and I'm going to have children, I want them to go to a good school. And I don't want to be afraid that when they go to school, there's going to be, an issue at school or that crime is an issue in my neighborhood. I think most Americans would say, yeah, I'm with you, man. I agree with that. So, like Kelly said, you may think one party is going to do that better. You may think another party is going to do that better. And that's why we have 2 parties, because they bounce ideas off one another. And whoever the country thinks has a better idea, that's who they're going to go with. Right. And I think what you saw a couple of days ago is that most Americans, the majority, this time thought that, okay, this party has a better plan than this party. Right. And I know that, there are a lot of people that don't agree with that. I know there are a lot of people that do agree with that. But I think that was how you could sum up the election a couple of days ago, was most Americans, they just want to be able to afford things. They want to be safe. They want to have good schools. They want low crime. That's not to say that all the other issues that Americans care about are less important. That's not what that means. It just means there are maybe fewer people that cared about those things.
That are very important to some.
That are very important to some that are not as important to others. That's all that means.
Well, I just, we didn't, on the Kid Credit Morning Show, we didn't talk about politics. We barely even referenced any of it. And I still had somebody text in the show and said they were never going to listen to me after 20 years because they know how I voted. Yeah. And I was like, well, how did you know how I voted? Because I didn't say anything. But they are not going to listen anymore because they know how I voted. And that's just what I think is a shame, that what's happened is that, people feel like they can't be friends with. I've got friends from both. I've got Democrat and Republican friends. Why can't we all just be friends?
Of course we do.
I don't understand why that means you can't be friends with people just because they, I haven't been picketing, protesting, cursing, cussing, or anything. I don't understand that, but
I think that's another, and that's unfortunate. You told me that a couple of days ago, babe.
Yeah, they were really upset.
That's really sad.
After 20 years, they can't listen anymore because they know exactly how I voted.
Yeah, that's sad.
But I don't know. What can you do with that?
I don't know. But again, if I'm just looking at the entire country, I think Americans are, as a general rule, they're very tolerant, very understanding people. And as a general rule, now there are exceptions on both sides, but it's always been my opinion that I can be friends with anybody. If your political beliefs are what they are, great. You be you, man. You do you, I'll do me. And I think a lot of Americans are like that. You just do you and let me do me, and we'll vote and we'll see what happens.
We just need to fight about it all the time.
Yeah, I just don't want to fight about it all the time.
I was just really happy that I don't have to get, man, I thought I was going to be not getting any more political ads. And the day after the election, I got 2 more. I'm like, what the hell?
Did you?
Yeah. I'm like, I'm done with that. But anyway, on that note.
Yeah. I think it's nothing to get discouraged about. These are adult conversations you got to have. I mean,
but
you don't want to get it. We're not a political podcast. We don't get into the nitty gritty about certain issues. I'm just saying, generally speaking, this is human behavior, right?
Yeah.
This is how people, I think, respond and think about these things. In my opinion, just as one of 350 million people, So what?
Right. I'm sorry I'm not more political because I know you would love to talk politics.
Well, I think it's an interesting subject that should be talked about in certain, for instance, and in this, I'll bring it home for Jerome. The boys, they ask me all the time. They're asking me questions all the time because they don't understand. They don't get a lot of political teaching in school, and I think that's good until you get a little bit older.
How government works.
Yeah, you want to learn how government works. But they ask me all the time about things,
but not politics.
Yeah, and I'll tell them, this is how the government is set up. This is why it's set up this way. They're like, why do we not have a king? Well, Dylan, that's a very, very good question. Why we don't have a king? And I tell them, well, there were these dudes in England, and they were like, you know what, king, we don't like you taxing our tea. This is a bunch of crap. We're going to go over and start this new country, and here's our document that says what we're going to do. The king says, no, you're not going to do that. And they're like, yes, we will. Yes, we are. No, you're not going to do that because if you do that, we're going to hang all y'all. And they're like, screw you. We're going to go do our own thing. And then there was a big war, and then they started a new country, and it was called the United States of America. I mean, that's kind of how that started.
That's pretty good. I would have just said, go ask your teacher.
Yeah, no, they were pissed.
That's what I would have done.
No, they were pissed at the king. And I said, the president that just got elected, the president's not a king. The people elect the president, and hopefully whoever's elected do what the people want the president to do, right?
That's what we hope.
Because the king just points and says, you do this, you do that, and if you don't do this, I'm going to cut your head off.
Well, we don't want that.
We don't want that.
We like our heads.
I like my head.
Need a Kleenex?
No, I'm good.
All right.
All right, babe. You got anything else?
No, I've got a lot to do. I just remembered something I needed to do.
You seem very distracted.
I am. I've got a lot on my plate. I got a very busy week.
Okay. Is there anything I can help you with?
No, not one thing.
Okay. All right. Well, started with President Clinton in here, and he ran out of here as fast as he could.
Yeah.
He was
probably for the best.
He was
probably for the best. Because I haven't really seen a lot of him anyway, and then suddenly he pops up on our podcast. That was weird.
And sometimes when you do see him, he ain't looking too good.
Well, he's getting older, as we all are. I think he's lost too much weight.
Yeah. I think he's
Sometimes you need to have a little weight on you to look healthy,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, true. I think he's
That's what I keep telling myself.
I think he's a little nervous, too.
Nervous? Why?
Yeah. I just think he's nervous.
Nervous?
Yeah.
Because Hillary's mad at him or something?
No.
I don't know.
Other reasons.
I don't know why.
All right, babe. Well, I love you desperately.
All right, love you.
Love our listeners desperately.
Love y'all.
I would say I love American politics desperately, but I don't. But I think it's very interesting and something that's fun to talk about sometimes.
Not always.
And I am sure we will podcast again real soon. And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich. Bye.